The fallout continues from one of the wildest week ones and Monday night footballs in recent memory. Your New England Patriots still trying to pick up the pieces, yet taking big strides forward in the wake of their 25-20 defeat in the home opener on, thank you, Tom Day, to the Philadelphia Eagles, while the AFC East was shaken up like a little kid who drank too many sodas at a holiday party and got a hold of a snow globe, with Aaron Rodgers now confirmed to have torn his Achilles on the turf, the dreaded turf monster of JetLife Stadium getting the best of him or the worst of him. Only 4 plays in. Andy, the irony of Josh Allen throwing as many turnovers as plays Aaron Rodgers had as the starting quarterback of the New York Jets continues to get me. The AFC East is up for grabs. Chaos, human sacrifice, cats and dogs living together. It's mass hysteria here on the latest Six Rings and Football Things podcast, brought to you by, of course, our friends at FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel, make every moment more. How about this, Hart? What do we do here? We got a little two-legger here for the Foxborough faithful. All right, don't joke. It's early. Get a hold of yourself. I know Andy's very emotional right now. Obviously, he was, none of us were expecting to be where we are and talk about what we're going to discuss. But on the first part, we'll do our final review of Sunday's loss to the Patriots. Some accused us of being a little too critical or a tad bit harsh or negative.
Screw them.
You
want harsh? I got your harsh right here. Harsh, hot.
And yeah, I mean, it's as if you're not allowed to be reactionary, volatile. God forbid there still be some fanaticism in me after all these years of podcasting with you. So we'll do our final takeaways from the game on Sunday, the 3 best things and the 3 worst things that happened to the Patriots in the wake of their loss to the Eagles. And then in the second half, we'll just take a broad, grand, immediate, maybe too soon, but not too soon view of the AFC East and who actually, in the wake of such a tragic affair, benefits most from the season-ending injury to Aaron Rodgers. All right, Andy, let's, you know what I want to do? I want to get the negative out of the picture first. I want to try to get a little more Pats positive. I did just as much yesterday at weei.com, taking a look at how the offensive line performed. Wasn't great, but it also wasn't as bad as we thought it could be. It certainly can get better if they get healthy. But let's get the negatives out of the way. Andy, start me off. Give me something that happened on Sunday that the Pats really need to clean up in Isle Foxborough and make better toot sweet.
Well, I'll start with, and it's funny because Ramondre Stevenson finished with he was right up around 100 yards from scrimmage. Had 64, I believe, in the passing game, had obviously some nice plays, yak, run after catch type, but you need to get him going on the ground. So, and that certainly ties into what you just said, the offensive line. I'm not blaming Ramondre Stevenson. Also, he was coming off an illness, so that may, a sick Ramondre Stevenson behind a sickly offensive line led to a sickly rushing attack. But I think if this team is going to kind of come into their own identity of who they want to be this year, you need Ramondre Stevenson to be better on the ground. You need the ground opportunities to be better than they were on Sunday against, again, tough front. Fletcher Cox and Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, like we've talked about it enough. They're really good up front. They're big, they're athletic, they're versatile. But if you're going to be what you want to be, I think Ramondre Stevenson has to be a more productive, effective, and needs to have more opportunities to move the ball on the ground.
Yeah, the rushing attack certainly left a little something to be desired. Ezekiel Elliott, the leading rusher, 7 carries, 29 yards. Mondre did most of his work with the short passing game as well. I agree with you. I know you've recently lost a couple of pounds doing some good work with our friends at Awaken 180. Ramondre could have lost a couple of pounds in advance of that game as well, but that's because he had a little case, as Rich Keefe said, of the trot on Friday into Saturday. So he probably hydrated.
He'll be squirt through the hole.
Oh, that may have actually been what happened.
Squirt through the hole.
So I apologize, audience, but you probably kind of appreciated that. Every now and again, it's a number wang here with Fitzy and Hart on Six Rings. I concur with you. And you know what? Coming up this week, and we'll get to this in totality and more in depth on Thursday with our Behind Enemy Lines preview pod of Fins at Pats. The Chargers had over 230 yards rushing on the ground against Miami's front. Now, the Chargers have a better than advertised offensive line, but Miami ain't very good against the run game. So methinks you might see a whole lot of Mondre with a side help and a Zeke come Sunday to set things up for Michael McCorkle Jones. I'm going to go ahead and get to number 2, and I think you're going to agree. This is obvious. This is just plain out there. This was, once again, a hallmark of what was Patriots football, and we're trying to hopefully reframe it as such again. Turnovers. You got to hold on to the ball. You cannot give the ball away, let alone give the ball away with free points. My God, your defense balled out on Sunday in the rain with emotions high, packed stadium, new lighthouse, keeper of the bell, Tom Brady. And for God's sakes, you showed him a pick six in the rain with a slap tickle effort by Mac Jones to stop Darius Slay. Bad pass, wet ball, bad effort. And then Zeke putting the ball on the ground. It essentially led to, was it 10 free points, Andy? No, actually, I'm sorry. It was 14. It was 13 because Jake Elliott, his one miss in the day was an extra point. So you give them the ball in the 20 and you give them the ball in the end zone. Like, you can't do that. You just plain can't do that. So clean up the turnovers. Hurry up, Andy. Hold on to the ball. Should everyone in the Patriots this week have to walk the halls like they do in a high school team or a college team, like ball held high everywhere they go as they go from like bathroom to meeting room to weight room to lunchroom?
Wouldn't hurt. And it wouldn't hurt if Ezekiel Elliott did it on his own and sort of took it under his own auspices to set a tone. Like, that's not going to happen. That's not me. That's a one and done. Sorry, my bad. Everybody else follow the leader, veteran kind of guy. Because you're right, that we talked about it post game. They're not good enough to overcome any mistakes, certainly not big mistakes like that lead directly to points or almost directly to points. And that would fall in line with who they are as a team. And by the way, your little shot at Mac Jones, I think we saw last night that the Bills punter had a worse tackle attempt than Mac Jones did.
It was Jonesian, if you will.
Oh, it was worse. It was worse. At least Mac, and I will say this, can say, I did my job. I turned him back to the inside. Darius Slay went back to the inside. Where's everybody else? Where's the pursuit? Where's the pursuit?
Shove him out of bounds. Throw yourself at him. Trip him up. I don't care. Take the penalty. Get a worse reputation. Stop the points.
He gets hurt? And what if he gets hurt? What if he separates his shoulder and his season ends?
Toughen up. You know what Bill Parcells used to call Adam Vinatieri? A football player, not his kicker. You letting that soak in with the audience?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Good.
Let it breathe. That's what producers say, directors. Let it breathe.
Good.
That one didn't need breathing. It was bad.
Eat it up. No, it wasn't. Let it soak it up. Live in it. Rub it all over yourself. That's the way it needs to be.
I don't want to rub
anything. Let's get to the third and final negative before we go Pat's positive.
So it's funny because we touched on the penalties and we touched on the inability to establish the running game.
Not good enough to overcome the mistakes. Can't make.
I would say another negative. Actually, I don't know if it's a negative or a positive, but your two biggest offensive acquisitions of the offseason were who?
Bill O'Brien and Juju Smith-Schuster.
No, I didn't say coaching acquisitions. I said offensive.
That would be Juju Smith-Schuster and Ezekiel Elliott.
I would say Mike Gesicki, because people told me he was going to catch 12 touchdown passes this year in 17
They did?
games.
Yeah, a bunch of people that lie.
Yeah, I was told during the summer that he was a unicorn. I read on Twitter. He is a unicorn weapon. The Patriots. Did he score?
He did not. However, I'm going to tease out one of my early FanDuel Sportsbook bets of the week here on the Six Rings pod. I'm going to go ahead and lay some money on Mike Gesicki anytime touchdown against his former employer this Sunday night.
And that would be nice, because if he's going to be a centerpiece of the offense, and if Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be a centerpiece of the offense, then they better get their asses into the center of the offense at some point, because your new look offensive guys didn't really contribute. Now, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, because the flip side is you get back to business with Bourne and Henry. Your old school 2021 turn back the clock to Mac's rookie year guys were there for him. They clicked. The rapport was back. But everybody told me how good Juju is. I don't really see it. Everybody tells me how good Gesicki is. I haven't really seen it. So I'd like to see more from your prized offseason. Oh, and wait, did I see? Was it 2 touchdowns that Jacoby Myers scored? Was that how many he had for the Raiders? I believe it was 2.
Wait, I actually never checked the box score. I just saw the final score, 17-16, and I know that Dangerous was cooking early and then had not much to offer late. Did Myers score twice?
I believe the Raiders had 2 touchdowns, and I believe they belonged to Jacoby Myers. As Bob Lobel would say,
how come we can't get guys like that?
Boom, shakalaka.
Okay, I'm with you. As a matter of fact, that was going to be my third So we're hive mind once again on what needs to get cleaned up in Isle Patriots. Let me ask you this question. Why do you think that Juju Smith-Schuster was not on the field for the final play of the game? I know he's a little bit more of a middle of the field, inside to outside guy as opposed to an outside to in guy. But why wasn't Juju on the field for the final play of the game when you chose to let a guy that was a certain third down asset, Mac's favorite blanket, binky target, if you will, like Myers, go? And yet Smith-Schuster is out, and in is Kayshon Boutte, a rookie. He made the catch, but twice in the game, he failed to drag his toe to get 2 feet in bounds. Why do you think is this back to the knee? Are we load managing in week 1? He was only on the field 50% of the snaps.
I don't know that it's back to the knee. I mean, I think the knee is going to be managed all year long. As I told you, a guy that limps when he walks to the sideline and limps while on the sideline, to me, is concerning.
A guy with a problem.
I'm not going down the Breer road of explosion. I think that was a little ridiculous to say his knee's going to explode. But is the knee an issue? Yeah, I think it's going to be managed. I don't have a great answer because I didn't like it. You know me. I'm not a big Juju fan. He has drops. It's part of his game. It was part of this game. Drops are part of what I've seen from Juju because I like to judge these guys what I see firsthand, not, what he did in Pittsburgh or what he did in Kansas City. I can tell you over the course of the summer, drops were an issue. But I'm also not the biggest Boutte guy. You know, Boutte, to me, to have him as – I still think he's kind of a developmental guy, and I think he proved that. He proved that with the toe tap inability, like, hey, it's not college football anymore. To have him on the field – with the game on the line in clutch situations, and to have Juju on, like, I can't envision Jacoby Myers wouldn't have been on the field. And
of course he would have been. Of course he would have been.
So it makes no sense. Either you don't like Juju as much as you thought you liked Juju. I mean, I guess if we're going to be really optimistic, they love Boutte. I don't think they love Boutte. And
they like Boutte, and it's a like of need right now because Taquan, if you will, is on the shelf once again. Devontae Parker, you choose him over going out we don't have to go out and get DeAndre Hopkins. We got Devontae Parker. Oh, really? His knee was an issue and he couldn't play? He's one of your big outside guys, the winner of the
Devontae Parker hurt? That never happens. Come on.
Never happens.
Did you say he's hurt? No. That's blasphemy. Turf, delete that.
I think he's been in the league 9 years now. He's played 1 full season. Get that.
So odds are, from our FanDuel friends, is that he's going to be hurt.
The odds are, I would bet more likely than not he'll miss. Multiple games will be missed this season as well. Let's get to the
positive.
All right, so let's get to the positives. All right, you can't make mistakes. Cure the dropsies. We need more from the weapons. No more turnovers. Get Mondre going. Let's get positive here.
Before we get to this, let me real quick. I want to bring some, and I'm not going to use their names because they didn't ask me if they could, but 2 friends of mine who are fans of the team, very passionate fans of the team.
All right.
Had very distinct sort of big picture takeaway responses from the action over the last 2 days. One of my buddies texted me and said he's watching the second half of the Bills game. What I see is abundantly clear that talent wins games. Patriots should be ashamed of themselves. That was his response.
Wow.
To last night. And then my other buddy says, Pats are good. Loved what I saw on the field. The Pats are back.
See, again, every year there's a new split. There's a new schism, if you will, in Pats Nation. And this year it's they didn't do enough. There's not enough talent. This team is screwed versus how could you guys not see that the development and the rebirth is underway and in progress? Look at this defense. Mac is better than advertised. Here we go. And we'll address more of this in the back end when we talk about the Rodgers injury and what this means for the Pats and the rest of the AFC. But I'm kind of split right now because I saw a team that made enough mistakes to lose a game on Sunday and not overcome their shortcomings and their gaffes. But I also saw a team that fought tooth and nail right to the very end, brought the hammer on defense, contained a dynamic NFC Super Bowl contender.
Everyone gets a trophy. You tried hard. We did hit 3 foul balls, Coach.
You know what they got? They got a big fat Allah. They got an loser.
They lost. Like it. Well, they fought hard. Well, they
lost.
Hard.
But it wasn't like they were supposed to fight hard.
There were a lot of teams that got L's on Sunday that didn't compete the way that the Pats did. You know it's there. I saw it's there. Your friend who texted you, who should unfriend you immediately, saw it was there as well. Let's get positive, Mr. Negative.
Okay, let's get positive.
You mentioned earlier, you just mentioned it a few minutes ago. The weapons of 2021 were back and may have looked even better than ever. Bourne and Hunter.
Those are your two top positives? Bourne and Hunter?
No. I said that's one positive. The
okay.
resurgence of Kendrick Bourne and Hunter Henry. Great to see them
Absolutely.
back in action and scoring.
And predictable. You get rid of Matt Patricia, send him to the other team where he actually won the game, but we don't need to get into that. And you get Bill O'Brien, and you get back happy Mac, happy Bourne, happy Hunter, happy touchdowns, touchdown dances, celebrations. It looked like competitive play. It wasn't perfect. We talked about it post game. Each of them had drops. You know, I would sort of put the Hunter Henry drop on Mac Jones and Bill O'Brien, but they both had drops, but they both found the end zone. The out and up was a beautiful route, beautiful pass, beautiful catch for the touchdown for Henry. Bourne looked like the playmaker that I expect him and want him to be as sort of the centerpiece of this offense. That's the other thing. With Juju sort of second tiered, as we talked about, the opportunity was there and Bourne kind of took it. I think he needs as many of those opportunities to be the guy who makes plays. And if I'm not wrong, I believe Tony Romo, who I don't like to quote because I think he's a bit of a boob and a moron.
I was going to say blowhard, but okay.
Blowhard, that all works. Boob, moron, blowhard, whatever you want to be. Seems like a nice fellow, though. I will step back from that. Sure. Seems like a very nice fellow, genuinely nice fellow. At some point after a Bourne catch, I believe he said, I think they have their number one receiver. And I agree with him. Bourne should be the guy. Build with Bourne. So getting those two guys happy, engaged, productive, first step that they can build off of, like snowball for the positive, all of it's good. Bourne and Henry, I love it, but not as important as, you know what Rich Keefe likes to say when somebody, like, let's say there's a surprising cut or somebody's fired, or what does he say? He gone.
Yep.
Well, the Patriots defense has a C gone. Christian Gonzalez is the reason to be happy about this defense, because Seagon, that should be his nickname, I'm going with it, is the man upon whom pressure is put, and he responded. No Jack Jones, no problem. A.J. Brown, no problem for the most part. Devontae Smith, no problem for the most part. Oh, you want me to be physical? Boom, I got you. You want me to blitz and get a sack? I thought Jalen Hurts could move. Guess not. You want them to go for it on fourth down? Who going to be there to knock the ball away? Seagon. Guess what?
Please.
He is a stud.
Yes.
I'm back to Studville. I was worried about him. I told you I was worried. I was
But wrong. I thought he's a member of Andy Hart's House of Cards, the cornerbacks in the secondary.
But he's the biggest.
If you got someone like that healthy up, so is everyone. Jason Horn hurt again in Carolina. You can never tell with these guys that are supposed to be stud number ones. He looks the part, acted the part, hit like the part, covered like the part, had the swag, cool in the post-game interview as well. This is someone you can lean on. I'll give you the Seagon, or Gonzo, as I like to say, my favorite Gonzo since the Muppet Show. I'll tell you straight up, it's defense. Defense is the ultimate number one positive takeaway. Hammering like peppers. Great coverage out there. Mapu looking good already. Keon White. He had 4 pressures in 13 total plays on defense. That's pretty damn good for anyone, let alone a rookie seeing his first professional NFL action. That's a badass. Matt Judon gets a sack in his first start. Multiple pressures from Uche. Multiple pressures from Josh Uche showing up as well. Godshow, your guy, your boy out there actually making some plays as well. Andy, the Patriots, if they stay healthy, and I know this is the ultimate caveat, but we have to keep saying it because we saw what happens. You're only an injury away from opportunity or adversity in the NFL. If they stay healthy, this Patriots defensive unit can be reasonably special. The Jets defense is truly special. This one can be pretty special.
Did you say reasonably special?
Reasonably special.
What the hell does that mean? You're either
okay, would you rather I say very good?
Really good.
Okay, really good.
Really good.
Okay, let's requalify.
I actually don't think they can be special. I think there's still enough shortcomings maybe in there. Cornerback certainly is going to be one of them throughout the year at various points. But I think they can be really good. Barmore, the numbers sort of showed his game as more impactful than maybe you first witnessed it. I know PFF was big on him, or one of those stats things were floating around the Twitter sphere. I have high hopes for them. If they stay healthy and Gonzo or Seagon or Christian the Conqueror or whatever you want to call him, like Christian
the Conqueror. I don't know. That's
what did Christians used to do when they took.
I mean, he's probably on a crusade to be Rookie of the Year, but
Crusader. Let's call him the Crusader.
Crusader. There you go.
The coverage crusader. He needs a nickname, doesn't he? You gotta
Yeah,
have a nickname.
We'll workshop it. Anyone listening right now, shoot us a little message at Jumbo Hart at FitzyGFY at 6 Rings Pod. We need a nickname for Christian Gonzalez beyond Gonzo and definitely past Seagon. All right, one more positive before we wrap up part one of the pod here. Would you? I'm going to give you two. You tell me which one was more positive.
Ooh, pick one.
The offensive line performing better than expected in light of starting two rookie guards and a guy who was on the NFI list just 10 days prior at right tackle, or Mac Jones overcoming the mistakes he made early on to put the Pats in a hole and almost lead them to victory with an excellent second and fourth quarter performance. Almost.
So we're chopping up the game into various pieces and pulling out the good for him.
Yeah, listen, there are parts of the meat that are burned. This one's fatty. There's a bloodline over here. I'm just giving you the choice cuts for supper.
Well, that's why I usually order a filet, and he was not a filet in this game. He was.
No.
You're true. You just described how I eat a steak, by the way. Like when people give me real steaks, I have to like cut around and get to the good meat that I like without all the gristle. And
your wife cut it for you as well.
No, I cut it. I do my own cutting, but I do cutting, and then I feed the gristle and stuff to the dog or whatever. I'm going to take Mac Jones because I think in totality, popped my T's there instead of my P's. Totality.
Yes.
Mac Jones, I think, was a net positive in this game.
He was
in a dogfight against a good team
in the rain.
Yep. It wasn't all great.
Nope.
The arm strength is noticeable. Even Chad Finn, who I consider part of you people, he is a very optimistic, glasses half full, Patriots sunglasses kind of guy. Even Chad Finn had a tweet about, is it me or is Mac's lack of velocity a problem for some of these receivers? Because I do think the Henry drop, the ball took too long to get there, and he's thinking, get here. All
right, hurry up.
Run.
Well, I mean, go back to the Bourne bomb in the first half. If he actually hits him in stride and puts a little more zip in the ball, that's 6.
Yeah, but that's a deep ball. I'm talking about, what was it, 4th and 17? So
yes. Also, we probably could have put, by the way, side note, we've already said what we've said, but we could also probably put coaching decisions as one of the negatives because 4th and 3 probably should have taken the 3 going for it. Even Bill admitted as much on WEEI Monday morning. Probably not a great decision to go for it on 4th and 17. A little too aggressive for my liking. We like aggressive, just not in the face of eschewing opportunity to give your rookie kicker out there and maybe make a couple of big kicks, keep yourself in the game, or win the effing thing.
I don't think the ball that he threw to Bourne will prevent Mac from being a above average or good quarterback. The one to Henry is a problem. If you can't throw, because he was short of the sticks. So it was 4th and 17. So you're looking for a 14-yard completion, whatever it would have been.
Oh, and you say if you hit him standing up, maybe he can make a football move as opposed to having to drop to his knees. Right.
If it gets there
quicker. Say this, great touchdown pass to Henry, great touchdown passes to Bourne as well. On the final pass to Keyshawn Boutte, with the final not touchdown pass, the final pass of the game, put a little more mustard on that ball, get it over there to him. Maybe he's got a chance to get the second. I mean, like he
doesn't have mustard.
They float. They have arc. There's too much arc.
You know when you squeeze the mustard bottle and it just goes.
And it makes the fart sound. Yes,
that's Mac. He doesn't have the mustard. For better or worse, I actually don't think it's debatable. You can decide whether he's good enough to make all the throws and to do what you need to do to be good. That's a separate debate. I don't think it's debatable that he has a lot of mustard on his balls.
Jeez. It's a shame.
I thought that was a positive segment. How did you turn it negative?
How did you turn it negative?
You said something about Mac.
I did. I said I wish he got the ball there. I asked
you. Net positive.
I asked you. You said he was a net positive. Okay, Mac Jones grade on Sunday. B-.
Yeah, B-, C+. I actually give him a few bonus points, so I would say C+, but I might bump him into the B- for the way he approached the post game. I really liked his taking accountability, putting it on himself, much like Josh Allen. Josh Allen says we lost this game because of me, which was obvious to anyone who watched the game.
Yeah, no S, bro.
But just to say it, not everybody says it. You know who doesn't say it? Bill Belichick, ever. Except
almost
for the
that's why it was such a big deal Monday when he was like, probably shouldn't have let Tom go. I mean, we at the time I was like, I heard just like I heard humility almost escape his mouth, and then he like grabbed it and swallowed it real quick.
Yeah, no, he got it back. Can we do a quick side note here? And
Everyone loves a good digression or a side note.
do we? Because we don't have a Pat's Puri today, do we?
No.
Okay, so this is the ultimate Pat's Puri, and I'm taking it at surface value. I've not done any research, but that story
I do research in advance.
Right. And just believe what you see on social media.
Sure,
that story that Ben Volen put on social media from the Wesleyan newspaper about when Wesleyan football tried to hire Bill Belichick in the mid 80s to be their head football coach at Division III, and he laughed at the offer they slid across the table. He actually, I guess, went and interviewed and laughed at the offer that they slid across the table, was one of the most interesting stories I have ever read. And the tone with which the writer wrote it, like, basically that Bill's going to regret this. You see those Giants, they suck. They're 2-6. And like, that was almost fake. That's why I say I haven't checked it. It was a picture of a real story. It didn't say The Onion on top of it or anything like that. Was one of the more interesting stories that I had never seen before. It's 20 years old, 30 years old, whatever the hell it is. How old am I? It's 40 years old. Jesus Christ. It's like 40 years old, and it's one of the funnier things I've ever, that he's going to regret not going to Wesleyan to coach football. Like, what are you talking about?
That's a good one. I'll have to check in with Volen to see where he got that one as well. Or maybe somebody, yes, easy joke incoming in 3, 2, 1, shot it into his DMs. Who knows? But that is pretty funny as well.
That's why I wondered if it could be fake. Maybe he just reported.
Who knows? All right. So there's our positives, our negatives, and our nonsensicals. Everything that came from week 1 with the Patriots in their 5-point defeat to the Philadelphia Eagles. Thank you guys for tuning in, becoming a part of our growing Pats fan, analytical, perspective-laden, story-filled, digression-packed community. He's at Jumbo Hard. I'm at GFY.
I had somebody DM me just today. Finally this was an old PU listener from the Patriots.com days. Finally started listening to Six Rings. Love it. Love it.
How about that? How do you like that?
Drive him away.
Thank you for sliding into Andy's dude messages and sharing the thoughts from Patriots Unfiltered all the way to Six Rings and football things. So much to offer this week. So much more coming up on the podcast. Don't you go anywhere. All right, it's the back end. Here we go on Six Rings and football things. Coming off the Eagles lost well in advance of the Miami game, week 2 of the 2023 season. Of course, brought to you as always by FanDuel Sportsbook. FanDuel, make every moment more. Don't miss the FanDuel Sportsbook 6 Rings Bet of the Week. Coming up this week, we'll give you a pick of the game and our prop shop pick as well. All right, Andy, so the sports world is still reeling. The NFL is done shook.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers out for the season, confirmed a couple hours ago by Shefty Pelissaro et al.
He gone.
Achilles. If you have watched the slow-mo replay of it, it is a brutal-looking injury. This is why you have to be careful. A lot of people, Kevin Durant just entered the chat, talked to me about having calf injuries in advance of Achilles pops. You got to be careful.
What if you're a Bengals fan? What if you're a Bengals fan and you're like, wait a minute, doesn't our $275 million quarterback, didn't he just have a calf issue? Why is he out there? Like,
exactly.
Should I be worried?
Like the way that game went week 1, anyone else couldn't have lost to the Browns 24-3. I would have kept him on the shelf a little while longer too. Protect your assets. So I need to. I couldn't even get to the mute button in time. I apologize. What am I?
Jesus,
be a amateur hour.
Once in your career.
I tried to find it. Damn it.
That's what she said.
Anyway, for God's speaking of professionalism, could you just bring a little to the table?
People like that. So. Humor.
Yes, I understand. I know. I'm just trying to keep this absolute fire-laden freight train rolling. So with Aaron Rodgers out now, we discussed earlier, if you missed it, Andy and I did an immediate reaction pod this morning to Aaron Rodgers going out, what it means to the Patriots, what it means to the Jets. Let's just take a league-wide conference and league-wide look. Who truly benefits the most? And do you believe, like I do, as I just wrote up for weei.com, that the AFC East now is totally up for grabs? The Jets' win total has gone down. Their odds to make the playoffs and to win the Super Bowl have gone down. And with the performance Buffalo put on Andy, and with the performance Miami put on in victory out in Los Diego in front of the AI robot fans, I kid you not, look it up, folks. They had AI robots cheering for the Chargers. Their fan base is so sad Sunday. The Miami Dolphins are now the betting favorite to win the AFC East. So I ask you, how do you think the AFC East shakes out now? And who truly benefits the most from something as tragic as Aaron Rodgers tearing his Achilles and being out for the year?
Well, first of all, I don't think the AFC East is wide open. I mean, first of all, I think the Buffalo Bills deserve a little gosh darn respect. They've won the division 3 years in a row.
Correct.
Clearly, the Jets defense is a bad matchup for Josh Allen. Anyone, but Josh Allen. Like, it doesn't go well when he plays the Jets defense. Okay. But to me, they have earned the benefit of the doubt until otherwise decided. And because they're a good team with a good quarterback and good wide receiver. And like, they're going to be fine. Relax, as the now injured quarterback would say. The Dolphins, great start. Great start. You're going to live and die by your passing attack. They blew it up. They got the job done against a playoff caliber opponent on the road. That's a really, I don't know if people are giving enough credit to that win. That's a really good win because that's a good football team in their house that you're probably going to be competing for later for either seeding or wild card or some form of something in the AFC. That's a god.
Which makes this coming Sunday night's game even more ready for this. One of my favorite descriptives, pivotal for the Patriots and the
is this
Dolphins.
Pivotal like Red Sox pivotal or like real pivotal?
It's actually Patriots pivotal. It's not Red Sox pivotal.
Because Red Sox pivotal
changes. And and Miami did go down. Herbert didn't have a great game, but like I said, they gave up over 230 yards on the ground. Yet Tua throws for almost 470. Tyreek Hill uncoverable. Might want to get a man on 10 if you get a chance.
Jonathan Jones, line 1.
Exactly. He's done a good job in the past against Tyreek Hill, but those guys look like they are men on a mission right now. I think the Dolphins benefit the most, but I think the Patriots benefit second most. Buffalo, yes, plenty of talent. I agree. The defense will only get better when Von Miller comes off the pup. For all we know, bad matchup. They got overwhelmed by the emotional turn of Gang Green at MetLife Monday night. Josh Allen crapped the bed. He actually had a fumble that even Mark Sanchez commented on and ran into his own offensive lineman. Dropped it twice. It was pretty impressive, actually. It's a good tweet, too, from Sanchez.
Yep.
See, a little sense of humor goes a long way in this life.
Yep.
Buffalo, I mean, everyone does. I don't think the Jets now are capable of more than 10 wins. This is the Testaverde injury in 1999 all over again. And Miami should be looking at the recent past because last time an AFC's quarterback got injured week 1, it was Brady in 2008. So 15 years ago when they had postseason, if not Super Bowl expectations, who took the division, but the Miami Dolphins as well. So I think they benefit.
The difference now is the difference back then was the unquestioned division favorite lost its quarterback. This year, it was not the unquestioned division favorite. It was the great story. People want to promote the Jets, but there was very much still Bills, Dolphins talk in the AFC East. So it's not like you went from the unquestioned team to it's wide open like 2008. But what it to me opens up is the 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, like the seeds, the wild cards, the rest of all of these second tier teams that don't win their divisions, I think are going to benefit greatly because now there's a team that may be out of the mix. But let me ask you a very simple question. Sunday and Monday, after 2 days of football, 2 dramatic days of football, where somehow the Patriots are feeling better because they lost and the Jets are feeling worse because they won. Somehow, all of that going on, which team is more likely to go to the Super Bowl?
To the Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl. It's that really big game in February. If you don't pay to advertise, you have to actually call it the big game. Everybody watches. Who is more likely to go to the Super Bowl in your mind after the big up and down opening weekend of emotions?
Jeez, I remember those Super Bowls. I think our team used to go to a bunch of them. We had parades,
they would win them too,
hats and T-shirts, trophies, video, DVDs, NFL Network specials,
good food and parties.
Yeah, a lot of good food and parties.
Yeah.
I'll say the Patriots by a whisker. The Pats by a whisker. As great as this Jets defense is, I have the hardest time in the world thinking that Robert Saleh, the mysticism of Aaron Rodgers on the sideline, Nate Hackett are going to be able to get Zach Wilson to play as well as, if not better than, we'll say Matt Castle did in 2008. They brought in Aaron Rodgers for a reason. They're petrified of this kid. I bet right now the Jets are ruining their decision to spend not only so much money on Rodgers and Lazard and Cobb and Hardman and everyone else and not spend enough time on the offensive line or have the turf at MetLife torn up, but also to not retain Mike White because now the backup situation has led them into the arms once again of the guy that they wanted to sit down for 2 years and try to develop before kicking to the curb. And I
So
just
they have
think
no
it's going to be
shot.
too much
They have
of an
no
issue.
shot to go to the Super Bowl with Zach Wilson. I would answer my own question TBD. If the Jets get a different quarterback, I think it's the Jets.
Okay.
I think if they almost anybody.
All right, who are you on the
anybody.
fire? Ready? Beep, 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 beep. It's Andy Hart on line 1, New York Jets general manager. Who are you on the phone with right now?
You know my answer. Hey, Tom.
Nope.
You looked great over the weekend when you ran down and said, "Let's go."
New number. Who
You
this?
got a little bounce in your step. And I know you're not opposed to joining teams that are loaded on both sides of the ball, trying to win a Super Bowl and just being the final piece to the puzzle and teaching them how to win. And I know it'd be probably the greatest story in all of sports if you went to the Big Apple, New York City. You lived here for a while. You like it. Tom, you got one more run in you because if you got to run, we're ready. Let's go. Let's go.
Sorry, the number you have reached has been disconnected. Nope.
Plus, Tom,
not happening.
Never. I know your fans
Never.
used to like to make those jokes that you own the Bills, you own the Jets, you own the Dolphins. We're not allowed to do this, but I don't think anybody's listening. You'll be the rare guy who has an ownership stake in multiple NFL teams. We will give you an ownership stake.
How many different rules? I mean, every great suspension and every great bad storyline in the AFC over the last 20 years has somehow involved Tom Brady. Why not one more scandal, right?
He's never been opposed to being part of a scandal, so why not join one more and become part owner of the New York Football Jets? Oh. You will join Woody Johnson.
Andy, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Oh, look who that is at the door. It's reality. Come on in. Let's actually talk about
reality sucks.
Realistic options. If I'm the Jets right now, I'm on the phone with Caserio. How much for your Keenum? Case Keenum would be a much better option. Or would you ask for, are you asking for Davis Mills? I mean, I'm asking for Case Keenum. Look what he did 5 years ago. He's still probably about in similarly physical shape. You asked earlier on our immediate reaction pod, who's that guy? Who's the Jason Campbell, if you will? It could likely be Case Keenum.
I like it better than Zach Wilson. All of these options. Right. I don't know if people watched last
night. It has to be effective.
The disgust. It was so broad. It was 2 words. The disgust that Peyton Manning had for Zach Wilson when he was in the game. And
oh my God. I didn't even see that until afterward. He's just like,
let's just run backwards. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just run backwards. That's a great idea. Run backwards. Like he thinks so little of Zach Wilson and the way he plays the game of football. And I agree with him. You need, especially this team, a different team that was planning on winning shootouts and needs to make offensive play, whatever. Maybe that would work. This team has a great defense. This team has a great running game. This team has weapons. The quarterback just needs to be, you may have heard
Brock Purdy.
Oh yeah, if Brock Purdy's available, they win the Super Bowl.
No, I know, but I'm saying let's boil it down further.
Came to a world where Brock Purdy is now like the Super Bowl marquee quarterback that the Niners want.
Guy, I mean, think about it. It's really the simple. You just literally outlined the San Francisco 49ers of the AFC in the Jets. Yeah. World-beating defense, incredible pass rush, solid coverage, amazing running game. They do have a better offensive line out there, and they have the best left tackle in football, if not maybe the last 25 years in Trent Williams. And they have Mr. Irrelevant running the offense, and he looks thoroughly competent.
Did you see that, by the way, side note, that Rodgers is already complaining that the coaches are the ones who got him hurt because he told them these cut blocks?
Because he's Aaron Rodgers. Of course.
He's an a-hole. He really is.
I mean, like, you want the, should we do the parable of like the scorpion and the bullfrog here? Like, it's always going to be a scorpion. It's in his nature. Yes. Is there anyone else? Let's run down. Yeah, I'll tell you what. You put Jarrett Stidham on the Jets. They're a much better
Matt Ryan's a popular one. He's been talked about.
No chance. How about
Phillip Rivers?
Could you get Phillip Rivers? Could you tell him, like, get in shape in the next 2 weeks? Let's go. How's the arm?
If you asked, I would probably put Phillip Rivers at the top of my list, which is funny because Phillip Rivers ain't won crap in his NFL career, even though he had talent around him.
And he has no business being in New York City. However, granted, they play in North Jersey, but imagine that.
I love how Scott Van Pelt started that last night in the Bronx. And we're here in New York City, MetLife Stadium, New Jersey.
Which is located in the Meadowlands, which smells like a toilet and air pollution, airlines. I'm trying
to think who else. I mean, Brady's the answer. Brady is the obvious one.
It's not happening. How about Brian Hoyer?
Okay, forget
Brian Hoyer.
No, Brian Hoyer sucks. And we learned that Brian Hoyer isn't necessarily that do the right thing quarterback kind of guy at all times. I want to circle back around because you keep poo-pooing. let's just say Tom Brady signs with the Jets. What's the reaction from Robert Kraft, the Patriots, New England, people like you? What's the reaction?
Burn everything.
What does that mean?
Just burn it all. This right here, see this little commemorative ticket out the window. All the shirts, the trophies, the photographs, the artwork into one giant bonfire.
He's free to play. He's a free agent. Do what he wants. He's a mature adult. If you love someone, set them free.
You'll be the quarterback of the Jets before Tom Brady. He doesn't need the money. He's stealing money from Hertz and Delta Airlines right now. He doesn't need the money.
How many quarterbacks have won Super Bowls with 3 teams?
There's got to be at least one backup.
No.
0.0.
You get to offer him something that no one.
You try to tap into the GOAT's vanity?
Absolutely. Yeah. Have you seen all the plastic surgery he's clearly had? Holy.
So you're telling me now that he ended the speech emotionally, bringing about tears of joy and the emotional reconnection Sunday. The one thing I'm certain of is I am forever a Patriot. Do you think he left out of his little speech? Well, once I go to the Jets after Rodgers blows his Achilles. Come on.
Rodgers was going to blow his Achilles.
Nope. Not happening.
Tom, you can do something never done before.
I will say this, Andy. During the course of the pod, I can relay Diana Rossini, now one of the senior football writers for The Athletic, alongside our pal Jeff Howe. The New York Jets have started to reach out to veteran free agent quarterbacks. All right, who are veteran free agent QBs? Let's see who's potentially available. Here we go.
Tom Brady.
You know the one I want them to sign? Carson
Brady.
Wentz. Go get him.
He sucks.
I know. That's why I want them to sign him. All right. You could get Jameis Winston. Joe Flacco. Bring old Broadway Joe. Colt McCoy. Flacco. Dalton. Winston. Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett's not a terrible one.
He's not a good one, though. It's not great.
But you don't need a good one. You need a not bad one. You need a not terrible one. That's my point. Wentz screws you. If you get the guy that Matt Ryan was last year, he screws you. Phillip Rivers, he's a possibility. Jameis Winston,
Kaepernick.
Jameis Winston is exactly what you don't want. Jameis Winston,
5,000 turnovers.
He's an older freaking Zach Wilson. You don't want that. So Tom Brady 1.
W.
Jacoby Brissett 2. I like it.
You know what? Brett Hundley, another website suggests.
Where's Heineke or Henneke or what the hell is his
name? See, I might give Heineke a call.
Yeah. I would put him on that list.
I would. He can throw. He's a gamer. He went toe-to-toe with Brady back in January 2021. See, they probably should have claimed Zappy, huh?
Well, they didn't need him at the time because they had a go.
Anyone? Do we know where Matt Corral is?
Literally,
is he doing well?
I don't know. Yeah, it was a positive update. They had contact. Bill said.
Good to hear. What a mess. Like this is amazing now,
but it's great news for everybody.
It could be 8-9. The Jets could be a hard-fought 8-9. It sucks they lose Rodgers. So now a team like the Patriots or anyone else in the AFC East or the Browns or the Ravens or the Steelers or the Bengals, maybe the Chargers, all these teams now you can almost give everyone a +1 in terms of postseason aspiration because the Jets season now is mired in such uncertainty with at least Zach Wilson as the QB for now. I'm telling you, we thought Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets would make this season more compelling. There was so much Hard Knocks hype, hoopla, and hysteria leading to him being QB1 for Gang Green out there on Monday Night Football, September 11th with the flag no less. Oh, the drama. Oh, the optics. Oh, the everything. And now instead, in my estimation, the season just got even more compelling, Andy.
For the Patriots, it certainly did.
I think for everyone else except Jets fans.
Yeah, everybody else except this guy. Giving the bird to Zach Wilson in the middle of the game there, and it was appropriate and necessary.
It was kind of all of us.
Yeah, it was. And I'll be honest, I'm disappointed. Did you watch the pregame interview with John McEnroe and Aaron Rodgers on ESPN? Was phenomenal. Like the arrogance of Rodgers, he had no problem.
Knows no bounds.
No, we're in this to win this. We're looking for a Super Bowl run. We're looking to dominate people. I liked that mentality. You wanted that. Villains are good. He was Hulk Hogan. He was the villain that you're not sure. Like, I know he's wearing black now and he's NWO, but I'm kind of rooting for him. Am I supposed to be rooting for him? I feel like I'm supposed to be rooting against him, but I think he's good for entertainment. That was Aaron Rodgers, and freaking karma, the field, something stole that from us, and I hate it. And in all seriousness, this changes everything. I said that on the Breaking Boston this morning, that Robert Saleh's career changes here. Nathaniel Hackett's career changes. Aaron Rodgers' career could be over. The Jets' career as a franchise changes. Like, if they win a Super Bowl, it changes the whole narrative about the Jets and who they are and Woody Johnson.
How about Garrett Wilson, who was scheduled to catch 150 passes this year?
Yep, that won't happen.
Nope.
No, I feel for those people. Jobs were lost. Money was lost. Futures were lost when Aaron Rodgers' Achilles popped on the MetLife turf. And that is sad. It is sad.
Yeah, well, it is sad for sure. But you know what else could be sadder? 5 more primetime games for the New York Jets.
No, thank you.
Oh, boy. That's going to be tough. The new Russell Wilson, like, shame watch of 2023. Unless they get a veteran quarterback or swing and trade. If and when they do, we'll let you know here on the
They get Tom Brady, I'm watching.
All right, that's enough out of you. Terp, mute him. You know what? I'll just wrap this crap up. All right, we'll talk to you guys in 2 days on our preview pod for Pat's Fins. Can they squish the fish? Will it be Tua and Tyreek time? Can Belichick finally get a win? His first one against Tua and the Dolphins. Will Vape McDaniels have a plan for the resurgent Patriots defense? We'll go behind enemy lines with a Miami podcaster or reporter to give you the inside and best look, as always. Plus, our FanDuel Sportsbook bet of the week. Until then and forevermore, we'll give you the score here on Six Rings and Football Things. Good day. God bless. What an AFC. What a world. And as always, go Pats.